Ladies and gentlemen, I hate going into conspiracy theories. I hate going into anything out there over that. But let us delve for just 1 second. When the January 6th riots happened, and yes, I know there's been a lot of pictures of different people coming out. People look vastly different in different ways. There's been a lot of pictures missing, a lot of the three poses of people missing, the vast amounts of photos, even from the earlier riots where it's like there's Antifa, there's Black Lives Matter. I don't think they really do mesh together. I don't really see how in any way, shape, or form, it really can that they can just delete these videos, disappear them from the internet, photographs, everything else. I do know of one or two meetings and things, and other guys talking about doing some stuff like that I know in the neighborhood, and I'm not really wanting to touch it because he's got a doozy coming up. I literally do think that, like the lady who had glasses, long brown hair, that she is the biggest tell of all the photos. And people can see how, if you know twins, like certain families, they all look like each other and they got multiple generations. And I'm just saying, first off, if you go to a place in combat armor, it's not cosplay. It's more of whatever you would think of as like a lifestyle. Your lifestyle, if you love your team and you do football and the Super Bowl and stuff, you wear the t-shirt all day, picking up the pizzas, the wings, everything else. You don't take it off until you're either plastered in the floor for whatever reason over the celebration. Everything is just supposed to be that way. Now, in saying that, you don't all of a sudden you go in there and you are going to take Nancy Pelosi's hard drive and sell it to people or whoever it is and just go, of course the Russians. And you just rip that off and go with it. First off, she's standing next to some guys that she's pretty much, same height. Then all of a sudden, she's like a little girl, like she's got to have lost 30 pounds as a woman. And it's like, there's two of them. See how I'm fatter in the face as a 40-year-old? There's just that little bit thinner, little bit whatever you want to call it, a little bit shorter of a forehead. And I know you're going to be like, okay, she's posed like that, she's posed like that, she's out here and she's got it looking up at her a little bit. You can tell in my positions of where it is, the stubble, everything else, that if someone looked like me, it's not really me. And then there's this length from the jawbone to the cheekbone. And I'm going, there's two of them. And I mean, down here, you get some jokers. It's like, no, I'm really my brother. I'm really him. And it's like, oh no, I got to work this shift for my look-like nephew. I don't know how it happened. You have things that happen like that with everything. There's stuff that happens like it. You can look at these photos and see that it's like the older person is taking the fall for the younger person in a way. It's there in plain day, everything else. And all these photos that are the best comparisons are like disappearing from the day, and it's just these others that are showing up. And I'm not sure how to really say it. There's 3 or 4 photos, and I'm like, it's almost like they airbrush this one person out, and it's like, oh look, there's this person right here behind whatever. Oh, look at, and all of a sudden it's like there's one or two of them missing. And in some of these really iconic ones. And I don't really understand how it is. It's something very strange. I keep looking at it and trying to think, what could it be? And it's just, while people want to say that it's like, oh, she's selling it to a foreign government, there is no way a person who is this societal is really going to be dealing with a foreign government. Now, if someone is at a homeless area, an extreme fringe, not like grunge music or country music kind of is now or goes in and out of it, rap, soul, how they go in and out on the edge of the fringe or wherever it is. And it's like there's always just something like, a steel electric guitar and like rock music and love and everything that's the same standard message. And then all the others kind of take it out and specialize it all around. And I know that's real generalization, and any one of them gets put back in the center, and it's the new big thing. And we have concerts that take up the news rather than war or a politician or something else. I can't really put my finger on it, but I think that it's that they're not domestic. That they're like a societal group that's foreign in every way, that lives here and can kind of get along. It's like you watch the movie Donnie Brasco, and it's really the entire movie is him learning how to decode the mobsters' little local dialect language. They blend in. They have their own society. They can shop anywhere in the area. They can do commerce, everything else. And they have their own little subculture. And I'm not saying that there are or aren't. And they're obsessed about making a score. They're obsessed about making the score. The big final thing for the payment to the person that's going to get them out of whatever. In a way, this is an ethnic group in the USA that's pushed to something. Now let's take that and go, what's the step right past Donnie Brasco? If these mobsters in it are like USA citizens, they're USA. They may be extremely ethnic in a way, they may be extremely something else, but you take that one step back over here, you have a embedded situation. I don't want to say terror cell, but you have a group, because a terror cell is a loner group. They're going to be there for like 6-8 months, and they're going to be dead after it. Suicide mission. That's further over here somewhere. But you have a colonizational group that can blend in, but doesn't have a real situation. They don't really have a real culture. They're tag-alongs in every way, and they're gathering resources. They can quote things that are very to the point from past situations. They play on whatever it is they think they know. It's like a Confederate flag being with the Republicans. It's for the Democrats. It's like some of the things that seem a little bit socially uncouth. They're from the heartland. It's the Louisiana Purchase, so it has to be French fur trappers. They think that there's something like, maybe they think that there's something with, and this is very far out there, this wasn't something I saw in there, but just say there's a fringe of their group. They think Native American human sacrifice is what the United States was built upon. How do you say that there is a group that's not a terror cell that goes, we're going to blow them up and sink them into the sea. And they go, we're just going to stay here, populate, infiltrate your different groups, use it for ourselves, and be the third option that they'll eventually take. And we'll take all of your stuff and be a complete internal operation and take you out completely in every way, and you'll sell it all to us. You'll give it all to us. And when there's one or two of you left in your city, or it's the small part, we'll have a pawn shop for you. We'll have an antique store for you. We'll have a divorce lawyer because you'll be in shambles socially. We'll have a big brother's big sister that you can tell all of your grandpa and granny's secrets to. And so on and so forth. For a moment, let's entertain that as what's happening here. They can get banners anywhere out there, and when they see the banner, it means something separate for them. It means something totally only for them. And all of us will carry it around and will morally support them in a way. And they raise their kids to look at the circle of stars as their revolution in 1776. It's their day. When they see missing in action, they teach their kids it's men in action. So on and so forth. And there are people, whenever they go away and they're missing, they're really out there still doing their stuff. And I know no one can really say that, and I will say I used to have a network that I will not divulge for anything. If they want to say something, they say something. But let's just look at it for this. Over that concept there, what can you say of what I've all said for this whole thing before? Is it even plausible that you could think that? Or is it non-plausible? You've seen the photographs. You've seen how they're a little different. Don't feel anything. Throw the feelings and just push them all back. Back as far as you need, just like the great wings of an angel or an eagle or else a demon. And see only that and analyze. Hold it back for whatever it is after it's really analyzed. And then with a thunderous stroke, if you can, let it go towards what it needs to and express what you've learned in your own way. Am I saying violence or anything else? That someone could be like thunder, guns, whatever? No. I'm going to end this right here. Like and subscribe. Share with friends. Anything. Colin Dawson with the Political Minute.